Alright guys, I'm back for the news today, and news cycle, the following Friday, I'm getting root canal the 30th, so, gonna be fun, so we'll see. I'm probably gonna do a video then, but I'm gonna be in a lot of pain, so, yeah, we'll see. Kinda wanna do the video, but... So anyways, let's get into today's video. Phil Spencer reaffirms plans to open Xbox Store digital store and mobile. Microsoft wants to be on as many screens as possible. Xbox boss Phil Spencer has reaffirmed Microsoft's decision to open an Xbox mobile app store in time for the EU's Digital Markets Act coming into place in March 2024. This act requires Apple and Google to allow third-party app storefronts on their mobile platforms. Yeah, there's a monopoly between those two, so it's one of what Microsoft is trying to do. I think they've mentioned that in multiple cases. So, sounds like they're actually doing it. Activision Blizzard has plenty of mobile games such as Candy Crush, Sage, and Diablo Immortal, which accounted for more than half of its overall revenue for the first half of 2022. Just part of the reason for their deal with Activision Blizzard. Alright, so next one here. We got YouTubers, because the 3DS and Wii U stores are coming to an end here. So YouTubers spend $22,000 to buy every Wii U and 3DS game ahead of Nintendo's eShop shutdown. A YouTuber has spent more than $22,000 digitally purchasing every Wii U and 3DS game ahead of their Nintendo eShop shutdowns next week. As reported by VGC, the completionist uploaded a video sharing the endeavor, which took 328 days to complete, including DSiWare, Virtual Console, and DLC. The project saw 866 Wii U and 1,547 3DS games purchased in total. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of games. The completed project, totaling a Wii U with 3 external hard drives and 3DS with 4 micro SD cards, will be donated to Video Game History Foundation to preserve digital offerings that will otherwise cease to exist when the store shuts down on March 20th. They're actually donating them. God damn. Yeah, these are the kind of people that mesh with, video game preservationists. Spent $22,000 just to preserve games, which is insane to me. You need more of these kind of people in this world, because companies aren't gonna do it. Just saying. Here's what Netflix's big video game push looks like in 1 year later. Netflix says it has 40 more games coming out in 2023. Pause that. In its sophomore year of video game development, Netflix has pulled back the curtain on the future of its gaming service. During a recent press event, Netflix English spoke about some of its plans for video games in the rest of 2023 and beyond. The company said it has 70 games in development with external partners, in addition to the 16 games Netflix in-house are developing. Netflix said it will release around 40 games throughout the remainder of 2023. New games hitting the service at least every month. Currently, Netflix gaming platform houses 55 games. Meanwhile, Amazon's suffering when it comes to new games and stuff like that. I think they had to cancel most of their titles, I'm pretty sure. Interesting. I got a lot of articles here, so I'm kind of just rushing through some of these. And I was talking about Xbox and PlayStation mid-gen refreshes, or whatever you want to call them, and stuff the other day, so I figured I'd talk about the Nintendo Switch today. But Nintendo admits Switch sales unlikely to continue growing at the same pace. Some of these are older articles that I brought up in prior videos, and I just want to get a whole beat on what's going on with Nintendo here. Nintendo has admitted that the Switch sales are unlikely to grow at the same pace going forward as the console prepares to enter its 7th year on the market. And you're already seeing how it's getting older here. I mentioned this in prior videos. Nintendo the Switch is coming up on its 7th year of sales in March, and we see that this is uncharted territory in the history of our dedicated video game platform. So Nintendo Director President Shintaro Furukawa. Under these current circumstances, it's hard to imagine that the hardware sales will continue to grow at the same pace that they have today. And they're already admitting that they're not going to grow any further than they already have, because I'm pretty sure everybody under the sun that wants a Switch already has one at this point. I have 4 of them, just for reference, guys, so take it or leave it as that. I'm just saying, anybody that's already purchased 1 or 2 probably doesn't need another one. That's just me thinking out loud, though. Switch 2 Nintendo is working not to make the same mistake it did with the Wii U, and they did have a next gen Switch in the works. It was like a rumor around the time, and they did like they put the lid on it, so they decided not to release it. I don't know what Nintendo's thinking, because they're 7 years later and they still don't have a next gen dedicated console yet. But I have a feeling there's a good reason they freaking did that, because you know, the stuff going on in the world, they may have not have wanted to release a new console at that time. And Nintendo won't be drawn out when it will. Nintendo won't be drawn out when it will release a successor to the Nintendo Switch. But President Shintaro Furukawa has made it clear that the company aims not to repeat the same mistake as it did when moving from Wii to Wii U and 3DS to 3DS. So they don't. So they're being meticulous about it. Whenever they decide to come out with a new Switch, or whatever they want to call it. I don't even know it's going to be a Switch at this point, because Nintendo's weird about that. It's showing that they're taking it more seriously, and actually thinking hard about it. But I don't think they need to think that hard about it, to be honest with you. Even if it's a next-gen Switch and they just continue pushing the Switch down there, I think they'll be fine. So Switch 2, Nintendo has nothing to announce, but says the next console aims to surprise and delight. We're entering an uncharted territory with the platform. Switch 2, question mark. The fact that this article is a thing, and they have like a question mark right next to Switch 2, only shows that Lord only knows what the next console is going to be from them. The Nintendo Switch is now in its 7th year, and the system continues to put up big sales numbers. That being said, people always want to know what's next. Nintendo marketing executive Doug Bowser's real name told the AP that has nothing to announce about the next Nintendo hardware, but overall the company feels very bullish about the current model. So they're planning on this is another thing that contradicts everything that all the other articles on the frickin' Switch 2 or new console, because like they're bullish on the current model, which means that they plan to keep pushing it for at least a little bit longer. I think they're just buying time where they're working on the next-gen Switch, because they kind of came in late with it, and they don't have a plan right now. I think that's what's going on behind the scenes. I don't think that I don't know. I think they're just trying to lean on the sales of the Switch until they can finally get a next-gen option out. That's why you saw that whole thing with the sales earlier in one of the other articles. Because any other company would have had their next-gen console out at this point. I mean, the moment sales start to slow down for, like, they already showed this. They already said the sales were starting to fall off a cliff. I mean, they didn't say it in those exact words, but you know what I mean. That, you know, they're starting to slow down for the Switch, so that shows me that they need to get like a new hardware out here sooner or later. And I don't know whether it's a next-gen Switch or, I mean, why they should do a next-gen Switch at that point, because you know most games coming out now can't even be handled on the Switch currently. So I don't know. That's just me thinking out loud. Anyways, enough about the Switch. We're gonna move on here, but I just wanted to talk about that, seeing as I did the Xbox and PlayStation with some older articles and stuff, new stuff the other day. GTA designer's new game looks like GTA in the first teaser. At 12 minutes already. Goddamn. Build a Rocket Boy, the game development studio founded by former GTA boss Leslie Benzies, has revealed a new game called Mind's Eye, and and it gives off major GTA vibes and also understood to be not exactly a traditional release as it will live inside another game. Mind's Eye is described as a high-octane AAA story-driven action adventure game. That's a mouthful. It takes place in a world of futuristic corporations, conspiracy theories, and sinister new technologies. You can see a new teaser trailer below. Wow, Cyberpunk. Mind's Eye will be available from within the everywhere platform, which will launch on PC in 2023 with a release on additional formats. What is that? Is that like a new PC storefront? I've never even heard of that. Probably something new. It's a new PC storefront, as if we need another one of those like Origin and Steam. But you know, whatever. Anyways, it's a good thing that we got another new studio making games with former employees from another company. We had we had Playground Games. It's got former employees making a game, and then we had that. What was that other one I was talking about the other day? I don't remember. There's been so many of them. So it's a good thing. You know, we got a lot of these new studios making games. Microsoft says we haven't pulled any games from the PlayStation amid Redfall PS5 discussion. They said no PlayStation 5. Now we're gonna do Game Pass, Xbox, and PC. And developer Arcane has commented on what changed with its vampire game Redfall after Microsoft bought studio owners ZeniMax. Speaking to IGN France, VIA director Harvey Smith said that there was a huge sea of change for Redfall after Microsoft bought the company, and this included a decision to not bring the games to my PlayStation 5. So they already had plans not to make these to make these exclusive for Xbox as soon as the deal went through. So I don't think they're gonna do that with COD. I think that was an intent. They intentionally just chose to do that with the Bethesda titles. That was they purposely didn't. They didn't exactly say they weren't gonna do that with the courts, and then they did it anyway. So the courts, they didn't lie to them effectively. They just went and did it. They said no PlayStation 5. Now we're going to do Game Pass, Xbox, and PC. Smith said. A spokesperson for Microsoft told GameSpot that the company has not pulled any games from the PlayStation. I mean, any games currently, I would imagine they didn't pull from PlayStation. Any new stuff, obviously, is probably not coming to the platform. I think that's kind of common sense at that point. Some are suggesting that Arcane was working on a PlayStation 5 edition of Redfall and canceled it after the buyout. There you go. But Smith did not say this outright. GameSpot has contacted Microsoft in an attempt to get more details on the situation. That's a game that wasn't even out yet for it, so you can't really count that because it was registered after the buyout. But you know, you get what I mean. Anyway, so I gotta start moving real fast here because there's a lot of articles here, and I'm just gonna start moving here. You gotta try to keep this under 20 minutes. Counter-Strike 2 confirmed for summer 2023 released. Limited test begins today, so we got a new Counter-Strike for those that play that game. I honestly, I have friends that play it, but I'm not really into it. Valve announced that the Counter-Strike 2 will be released in summer 2023 with limited testing. Available to some Counter-Strike Global Offensive players starting today. Eligibility will depend on a number of factors, including recent playtime, Steam account standing. Players have been selected with automatically get an invite via CSGO's main menu. To learn more about how to access the Counter-Strike 2 beta, check out the CS2 limited testing facts. All articles will be in the description, guys. I'm just trying to run through these. Got a lot to talk about today. Accompanying the announcement, Valve also released 3 videos testing what to expect. Counter-Strike's massive and transformative update made using the Source 2 engine level up the world. Showed off the upgraded maps and graphics overhauls. Source 2 engine. This is probably one of the few games that's actually using its own engine anymore, because Halo, one of the biggest titles, and other ones are using Unreal now. I just thought that was funny. Moving beyond tick rate, announced that the tick rate will no longer matter. Moving and shooting will be equal to responsive, and responsive smoke detailed the new dynamic volumetric nature of smoke grenades. Counter-Strike 2 has long been rumored, and a report in March stated that players could expect CS2 beta in March or early April. Something new confirmed with Valve's official announcement. Something now confirmed with Valve's official announcement. English. Marvel Spider-Man 2 might be releasing in September, and this is one of the few games that I actually purchased a PlayStation 5 for, because I was actually really blown away by the recent Spider-Man games. The last ones, Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. I actually like them. Peter Parker and Miles Morales may be swinging back in action. Marvel Spider-Man 2, September, with while no release date month has been officially announced. Venom voice actor Tony Todd might have just let word slip of the PlayStation 5's exclusive launch plans. On Twitter, Todd showcased that he was inside a mocap mainframe, presumably for Spider-Man 2. I don't even know what the heck that is. Probably some sort of development in development studio thing. Then in a reply to someone expressing their excitement for the sequels, Todd apparently revealed that the September as the target month for the release. Looks like September massively publicity coming in August, wrote Todd, who's known for a Candyman film franchise as well. So sometime in September this year, not December. That'd be too far away. I can see that happening. Tell me what you guys think. New Witcher game Project Sirius is undergoing some changes. The next new Witcher game from the Molasses Flood underwent an evaluation, and a new framework is now being evaluated for it. It looks like the changes are afoot for one of the new Witcher games. CD Projekt Red announced in October 2022. The company announced it today, March 20th, that the new Witcher game in development at the Mossless Flood in Boston underwent an evaluation of its scope and commercial potential against the original concept. So, sounds like they're having problems in development here, otherwise they wouldn't be doing that. Based on the evaluation, CD Projekt Red decided to take an imperative and pertinent allowance of close to $10 million in regulatory filings. CD Projekt Red, the values of expenses incurred from the impairment allowance amounted to $33.4 million. Jesus. PLN 7.6 million USD for 2022 and 9.5 million PLN for 2.2 million US dollars for January and February 2023. This comes out to 42.9 million PLN on 9.7 million USD. Video game business reporter Game Over 30 said, that's a weird name. CD Projekt Red's moves here suggest a complete scrapping of the existing version of Project Sirius. CD Projekt statement went on to say that the company will now work on formulating a new framework. So they're basically rebuilding the game at this point from the ground up, because it's for trouble in paradise from the sounds of it. From a new framework for this project. Cyberpunk 2077 receives path tracing in April. The announcement comes out of GDC. Basically, it's just another it's another way of saying ray tracing. It's like full ray tracing support. CD Projekt Red revealed that the Cyberpunk 2077 will get a path tracing on April 11th. This announcement was made at the Game Developers Conference, English. The path tracing is also known as full ray tracing, which is used to simulate how light acts in scenes and environments. It traces the way light bounces off of objects in different ways, in a way that makes those scenes and environments hyper-realistic. This not only gives better visuals to the player, but also has the promise to revolutionize the entire pipeline of how games are being created, said an NVIDIA senior technology developer engineer Paul Kozlowski, in a statement. I probably butchered his name. Basically, I think it's full ray tracing, which means that they're not just doing partial ray tracing, they're full on doing it. It's going to be interesting, that's all I can say. CD Projekt Red is currently working on Cyberpunk's Phantom Liberty expansion, which is expected to release later in 2023 for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. I haven't seen anything on that recently. That's the only reason I brought that up in this. The US government wants to make it easier to cancel subscriptions. Finally, government is tackling this issue, just what we needed. Proposed rule would require that the companies make it as easy to cancel a subscription as it is to sign up for one. That would make things a hell of a lot easier. The United States government Federal Trade Commission has announced a new plan that if implemented, could make it easier for people to cancel memberships to gyms, services, streaming services, and a lot more. The provision is called click to cancel, and the idea is that it should be as easy to cancel a membership as it is to sign up for one. Right now, that's definitely not the case, as anyone who has ever tried to cancel a gym membership or a news media subscription surely knows. Yeah, go through 20 different menus just to get to the subscription cancel button. Or normally, it's easier to sign up for one than to cancel one. But you get what I mean. Obviously, Elden Ring gets ray tracing a new update, but at a cost. The cost to overall performance that I don't think people are gonna like. A new patch for Elden Ring has added ray tracing support to the game on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, which is say the series consoles. With a big catch, according to Bandai Namco, enabling ray tracing can have an effect on frame rate resolution, impacting the overall performance of the game. This isn't unusual, seeing as how ray tracing is fairly resource-intensive function. But please note that the performance, such as frame rate and resolution, we're gonna pause that, may be impacted while playing with ray tracing on Bandai Namco's patch notes read. For PC players, you can find the recommended requirements below. Get Elden Ring ray tracing working on your system today. I don't know. Maybe it sounds like a sales pitch at the end there because I was getting kind of bored. Operating system minimum requirements, and they have the recommended requirements. Alright guys, that's all for today. Any news I don't get here, I'll post on my Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next videos. Bye! As always, sources used in the video will be in the description below. Drop me a like and subscribe. If you like my videos, please ring the bell, I'd greatly appreciate it. Any news I don't get here, I'll post on my Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video.